Overnight, New South Wales had 2 new cases, one from an overseas traveller and one from an existing cluster, which is positive. We had over 13,500 tests, and we do see a bit of a dip on the weekend, so can I please ask everybody to come forward and get tested even today. Don't wait till tomorrow, please come forward today. But I also want to extend our deepest condolences to a man in his early 70s who unfortunately passed away at Royal North Shore Hospital yesterday. He got the disease from one of the CBD clusters recently and unfortunately succumbed to the disease, and our thoughts are with his family and friends at this very difficult time. But we also know that it's been a difficult year for many, and today, as we acknowledge the Get Ready campaign to make sure everybody who lives in and around fire risk areas have their homes, properties and a safety plan for the fire season, that we also cast our minds to the last fire season and thank the 65,000 volunteers, workers, emergency services personnel who put themselves on the line to keep all of us safe. And if it were not for COVID, Commissioner Rogers, former Commissioner Fitzsimmons, Minister Elliott and myself would have liked to have personally gone round to thank people for their outstanding contribution to keeping all of us safe. But I'm pleased to say the New South Wales Government instead is recognising their significant contribution with formal citations and acknowledgement of what they've done. And again, in preparation for this fire season, it gives us pause to think about the last one, to think about the lives lost, to think about the trauma that people are still working through, the rebuilding effort, but also the outstanding efforts of tens of thousands of people, both acknowledged and unacknowledged, heroes who we'll never know about, that really went over and above to make sure that all of us stayed safe and that New South Wales pulled through that very difficult time. But today at Glenhaven, it's wonderful to see more people joining the RFS. I spoke to some people today that only joined in the last few months, as well as congratulating and thanking members who'd worked here or who've been volunteers here for decades, and that says something about the organisation, but also something about our commitment to it. I want to thank Minister Elliott, Commissioner Rogers, for their efforts in making sure the government provides the necessary resources, the necessary equipment to support all of our volunteers, in addition to our paid workforce through fire and rescue and other emergency services personnel. But as we all get ready for this fire season, we have to be mindful that we have to be COVID safe during that time as well, and I know the RFS has taken on board a number of measures in that regard. And today is really a chance to say thank you to the tens of thousands of both acknowledged and unacknowledged heroes who helped us survive through the most devastating bushfires our state had ever experienced.